50 ways to express decrease in English. Decrease. Costs are expected to decrease next quarter. Costs are expected to decrease next quarter. Decline. Customer satisfaction has declined slightly over the past year. Customer satisfaction has declined slightly over the past year. Fall. Unemployment fell to 4.2% last month. Unemployment fell to 4.2% last month. Drop. Prices dropped sharply after the announcement. Prices dropped sharply after the announcement. Go down. Gas prices went down a bit this week. Gas prices went down a bit this week. Come down. The price has come down since last year. The price has come down since last year. Dip. Sales dipped in February but recovered in March. Sales dipped in February but recovered in March. Edge down. Inflation edged down in September. Inflation edged down in September. Slip. Revenue slipped slightly compared with the previous quarter. Revenue slipped slightly compared with the previous quarter. Slide. Shares slid throughout the afternoon. Shares slid throughout the afternoon. Shrink. The market shrank during the downturn. The market shrank during the downturn. Contract. The economy contracted in the second quarter. The economy contracted in the second quarter. Dwindle. Our options dwindled as the deadline approached. Our options dwindled as the deadline approached. Taper off. Orders tapered off after the holiday rush. Orders tapered off after the holiday rush. Tail off. Foot traffic tends to tail off after 8 p.m. Foot traffic tends to tail off after 8 p.m. Peter out. The discussion petered out without a clear conclusion. The discussion petered out without a clear conclusion. Fizzle out. The initial hype fizzled out within a few weeks. The initial hype fizzled out within a few weeks. Fade. Tension faded as the meeting progressed. Tension faded as the meeting progressed. Die down. The controversy finally died down. The controversy finally died down. Ebb. Enthusiasm ebbed after the initial excitement. Enthusiasm ebbed after the initial excitement. Wane. Public interest is starting to wane. Public interest is starting to wane. Subside. Inflationary pressure is beginning to subside. Inflationary pressure is beginning to subside. Abate. The storm abated by morning. The storm abated by morning. Recede. The floodwaters receded overnight. The floodwaters receded overnight. Retreat. Oil prices retreated after last week's spike. Oil prices retreated after last week's spike. Ease. Inflation eased last month. Inflation eased last month. Ease off. The wind eased off in the late afternoon. The wind eased off in the late afternoon. Let up. The rain finally let up. The rain finally let up. Soften. Demand softened in the second half of the year. Demand softened in the second half of the year. Weaken. The yen weakened against the dollar. The yen weakened against the dollar. Moderate. Growth moderated in the second quarter. Growth moderated in the second quarter. Cool off. The housing market is starting to cool off. The housing market is starting to cool off. Slow down. Hiring is slowing down across the industry. Hiring is slowing down across the industry. Decelerate. Economic growth is decelerating. Economic growth is decelerating. Slump. Sales slumped after the price increase. Sales slumped after the price increase. Sink. Profits sank in the last quarter. Profits sank in the last quarter. Plunge. Shares plunged after the earnings miss. Shares plunged after the earnings miss. Plummet. Website traffic plummeted overnight. Website traffic plummeted overnight. Nosedive. Engagement nosedived after the latest update. Engagement nosedived after the latest update. Crash. The market crashed after the unexpected news. The market crashed after the unexpected news. Collapse. Demand collapsed when the subsidy ended. Demand collapsed when the subsidy ended. Trend down. Unit prices tend to trend down as competition increases. Unit prices tend to trend down as competition increases. Head down. Inflation is heading down but slowly. Inflation is heading down but slowly. Bottom out. Sales bottomed out in January and stabilized afterward. Sales bottomed out in January and stabilized afterward. Be at rock bottom. Morale is at rock bottom right now. Morale is at rock bottom right now. Go into free fall. After the announcement, the shares went into free fall. After the announcement, the shares went into free fall. Drop like a rock. The temperature dropped like a rock after sunset. The temperature dropped like a rock after sunset. Go downhill. Service quality has gone downhill since the reorganization. Service quality has gone downhill since the reorganization. Dry up. Funding dried up after the policy change. Funding dried up after the policy change. Run out. Our supplies ran out sooner than expected. Our supplies ran out sooner than expected.